Hey, welcome back everyone to Pioneer Knife and Tool on a Fixed Blade Friday. I thought I would just, I thought I'd throw a little Fixed Blade Friday episode here, show a few of my recent fixed blades that I've picked up, talk a little bit about some of these old knives, and I've got a couple newer things to look at. But I love Americana. If you're familiar with my channel, I don't just do knives. I like a lot of the accoutrements and the things that kind of interest me. Old Americana antique. So I love all that kind of stuff. So sometimes I just like to sit at the desk, pull some of it out, and I don't know, man, it just takes me there. And so I like to share it too. So thanks for joining me, folks. So on this Fixed Blade Friday, well, let's start out with these new acquisitions here. These knives are so similar, and they're really recent. I picked up this Kinfolks a few months back. And I picked up the Kent yesterday. And the Kent's cleaned up as much as I'm going to clean it up. I have the original sheath. I'm going to show that at the end. These were made in the 30s. And after World War I, you got into the 20s, the Boy Scouts was kicking off, and field and stream and hunting became a very, very nationwide popular thing. Even over in Europe was going on. And so it gave birth to magazines like Field and Stream. It was that time period where you had L.L. Bean, Marbles Corporation made knives, guns, camping, hunting gear. It was just a really wonderful, cool time period in America. And so that's where these knives are from, that time. Now, during that time, in the 20s and 30s, Germany Solingen was not shipping over knives. There was a tariff put on goods, and of course you had the wars, World War I and all that, World War II going on that happened, and it kind of stifled knives from Germany, because you had East Germany, West Germany, and all that stuff going on. But after World War II is when the German Solingen hunting knives just started flooding in. So if you've got a German stag or bone hunting knife from pre-World War II, you got a rare item. I only have one. It's pretty rare. But so anyway, I really dig the Americana. I dig that. It's my grandfather's generation. I got some photographs of him hunting in Oklahoma back in the day. And just a cool time period. So let's look at, I like to throw a few other little interesting things in. Let's look at this coin here. This is a Spanish piece of 8. You've heard the old pirate terms and all that. This is a Spanish piece of 8. This one's here from 1793, it looks like. And this is right, I believe, right around the time when America first started minting their own coins. America did not mint their own coins. In the very, very beginning, all the coinage over in the New World was from Spain and other places. So this Pretty cool old coin. Think about how old that is, man. That's like right in that kind of Revolutionary War time period. And I've shared this before some time back, but this is so cool. This is a cross from down in Mexico and, you know, the southern United States, down in that Spanish territory. And it was hammered out. It was made from pieces of 8 coins. The old silver artists down there would craft out jewelry and things, but this is very, very old. Just an amazing piece. You look at this. Absolutely cool. So a cross, you know, basically probably a Spanish cross made from pieces of 8. That is just awesome. So I dig stuff like cowboy stuff, Old West, you know. I like this kind of stuff, but you know, the Navajos and the silver trade and all that. 1920s and 30s and whatnot was a big time for turquoise jewelry and all that stuff down there along Route 66 in Arizona, New Mexico, and when this stuff really kicked off and you had a lot of Navajo silversmiths. I just, once in a while, if I find something like that, I'll pick it up. This is cool, man. Look at that. That horseshoe. It's marked there. And this one's really cool. I found this in Salmon, Idaho a few years back. I was up there with a wife, a little antique store, and I saw this. I'm like, I got to get this. Made in the 50s, 40s, or I think. Look at the work on this thing. Look at that. Look at the spur. And what's cool, when I saw this, just about dropped it. And I looked at the back, and I saw where it was made. Reno, Nevada. I'm like, I got to get this. So my wife got something, a little treasure, and I got that. Isn't that cool? I dig it, man. Yeah, so fixed blade Friday. Let's get back into the fixed blades here. So here's a really interesting Sheffield hunting knife, fixed blade hunting knife from 1850 time period. Really interesting. So this knife was crafted out about the time this photograph of this beautiful damsel was taken. But yeah, it's and I have the original sheath for this. But that's a really, really cool, stout hunting knife. It's amazing, you know, the Sheffield cutlers over there, their different variety of style of cutlery, just mind-blowing. I mean, everything was just, they had some interesting pieces, and that's just one of them. I thought I'd share that little hunting knife there, an oldie. Bowie knives, man. Frontier Pioneer Bowie knives. Now I've got I've got that new one over here. Let's pan over there and look at that. And it's turned out good, man. The handle was funky. That's a Baron Sons. And the handle was funky. I had to redo the handle. And I particularly didn't care that much for this knife, but it is nice Damascus. But now after I've done the handle up and everything, I really, really dig it. I'm glad I picked it up. I got the original sheath for it too. It's just cool. So that's new, you know, so got some of the new stuff too. thrown in there. And the last knife I crafted out right there kind of goes along with everything here. But yeah, so we'll end it here. I know a lot of you like the Pioneer Bowies and stuff on this Fixed Blade Friday. But let's look at some some iron and steel. Just gotta love it, man. Look at the blade on this thing. Yeah, cool knife. Kind of has a Spanish southwestern look to that blade. Been a while since I shared this one here. This is my favorite of the old Bowie knives, Frontier Bowie knives. This one has the original amazing wooden and leather sheath. It's a file knife, but I thought I was pulling some of this stuff out to kind of oil it up, check on it, make sure it's, see, look at that. That's a big knife too. That blade's about an inch shorter than the other one there. But this is absolutely, to me, it's my favorite early Frontier Mountain Man Bowie knife. Just so cool with that sheath. It's just mind-blowing. Here, I gotta put it in right. All right, let's look at this one here. This one's cool. It's got the old soldier's initials there. I threw some oil on this because it was starting to show a little something there. I don't keep them in the leather sheaths. I just thought I'd pull the sheath out so you can see what the sheath is. Here's another one of my favorite American Indian Bowie here and sheath. And this is just a cat's meow, man. This is a cat's meow. And I've shown this before, but there's something about Americana primitive knives, and you think about you know, this could have saved somebody's life from a grizzly bear or something. You never know, man. Isn't that cool? One of my favorite knives right there. That is just the cat's meow. Yeah, I'm gonna end it here, folks. I'm gonna share a little tip on what I've done with old knife sheaths. So I picked up this Kent from the 30s with the original sheath. And most of the time when you find something like this from this time period here, 90-year-old knife, the leather sheath's gonna be, it's not gonna be in very good shape. So a lot of times what I will do with them, because I want to save the sheath and still make it usable to where I could put the knife in it and use it, I will take and just do simple repair. Like you had some stitching missing here, starting to give out right there in the corner, getting loose along in here. So what I've done is I will use shoe glue. This stuff is this is the kind of glue they use on Vibram hiking boots to glue the Vibram sole, the rubber sole, to the leather shoe. This stuff is amazing. This is the cat's meow. I've used this stuff for years for everything. So what I do on a sheath like this, because I know, you're either gonna just pretty much almost toss it out, or sometimes you can't restitch it because the leather just won't allow it. Is I will take and I'll get some glue in the seam, and then what I do, like on a lot of these knives like this, to really make this knife, make this sheath hold up and hold together, is this is dry enough now I can take this off. What I do is I make an insert. I got an insert down in there. You can't even see it, and you won't even know it's there. And all this excess glue is going to get taken off. I'll peel it off and clean it up. But what I do is I make a liner. This is vinyl, heavy vinyl milk carton plastic. Stuff is tough. And I fold it. I take heavy duty scissors, and I make a liner that will slip down in. And I glue it in with the shoe goo. And so what it does, what I do is I shoot a bunch of glue down in there. I take a butter knife, or a long skinny knife, and I get it down in there, and then I insert my liner, and then let it dry. Now I've got this sheath will hold up now, probably for another 100 years. So anyway, that's what I do, and you won't even know that it's done. I'm gonna wait a little while before I take the Kent knife and slide it in there, let that glue dry a little more. But you won't even know it's done. Once I get all this glue off and get it all done, you won't even know it's done. But it's something that you can do with some of these old sheaths, if they're kind of beyond really trying to re-sew or whatever, because this leather gets pretty old. So yeah. Anyway, I thought I'd share that little tip on what you can do on some of these old sheaths like that. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching Fixed Blade Friday. Yes, indeed. The old and the new. Gotta love it all. God bless. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.